Hey everybody, I just wanted to show you what I've been up to here. I finally put in the first bed. Now this bed right here is like how my other beds are, except for it's 4 foot by 11 feet, and I made it that way because these beds were just too wide for me to reach in the middle sections. It was just difficult. And yeah, I was able to grow a lot more stuff in them, but they were just too wide. It was a strain on my back every time I came out to direct seed. So I made these beds a little narrower and longer. So this one is 4 by 11, and when I get the other beds built over here, they're gonna be 4 by 12. So as you can see, I took out the kiddie pool garden, raised garden bed here, and I took the dirt from it and put it into this bed here, but I added the onions and garlic that I had growing in this bed back over here into the kiddie pool so that I could try and keep those alive. So we'll see if that works. But as you can see here, I have the pomegranate branches that were cut off that are spiky on top of this to keep the cats out. Tiger still tries to get himself in these beds, but all I have to do is tell him and he goes. He knows better. But there's neighborhood cats that pass through my yard that want a scent mark and all that good stuff, and I don't want them leaving their deposits in my beds. So I put these spiky limbs on here to keep them out of my beds. I use them every year from off of my pomegranate tree here. And as you can see, I have more just waiting to be used in the beds when I put the beds together. So I'm happy about that. This bed, I started taking the onions and the garlic out. I still have a few more onions to take out here, and then I'm just gonna start shoveling this dirt over to over here so that I can get that first bed laid out right here. And I already started working on that first raised garden bed. What I did was I just took these boards and cut them down to size. As you can see though, all these boards have a whole bunch of nails in them, and so I've been just pounding out these nails and stuff. And so I'm gonna show you what I got from it. I've been a little under the weather lately. It started out with my son. He came home sick, sore throat and everything, and then I ended up getting it from him. So okay, so as you can see here, I already made all the cuts for the first bed. All I have to do is just assemble it. And that bed, like I said, is gonna be 4 feet wide by 12 feet long and just a little over 16 inches high. So, and then I'll be placing some of these tree trunks in the bottoms of those beds as I make them. So while I'm over here, I wanted to just show you my seedlings in the shed here. They seem to be doing okay. For the ones that are growing, they seem to be doing okay. I had to keep this door open just with that. We're at 104 degrees in here, and I don't even have the heat lamp on. So I don't want them to get too hot. So I'm going to have to leave this door cracked open so that they could get some fresh air. But yeah, I'm not usually really good starting indoor seeds. This is my second attempt. Last season, my first attempt was horrible. This one is not as bad, but it's not as good either. So I'm hoping that I can improve. I didn't show like a video of me planting these and how I did it or anything because I'm not an expert at this stuff yet, and I'm not very successful at it just yet either. So I'll just show you the progress as they go along, and then You know, if everything works out good, then I'll probably make a video next year showing how I did it. I also wanted to share with you guys that my fall winter garden was a bust. And there's two major reasons for that I have come to discover, which is first of all, I started everything and planted the seeds too late. The only thing that really took off and did well was like my garlics right here. They're doing fine. My other garlics that I had placed in the garden kiddie pool over here, so far they're fine. Hopefully they'll survive this transplant while I'm in the process of getting my garden put together. Everything else didn't really grow that well. And so the first reason why it didn't grow very well and produce for me that I learned is because I planted everything too late. To have a really good producing successful fall winter garden, you have to start planting mid to late summer so that the plants will be established already and matured by the time frost hit, because a lot of these plants, they're cold hardy, but if you plant them during the cold time, it takes them forever to grow. I mean forever. And so things that I should have been eating off of, I couldn't because I just didn't have them in place. They weren't mature enough to handle and withstand the cold. So it took them forever to grow. And then they still haven't really finished producing much of anything for me yet. Okay, so that was a lesson that I learned. And then also, number two is as I was digging in this bed over here, then transferring the soil from this bed, which had the leaf mulch and compost and manure and stuff, transferring it from this bed here to the new bed over here, I discovered a whole bunch of beetle larvae, grubs. And they were just, this bed in particular right here was infested with them, and I'm sure all of my beds are. And that's why last spring when I was trying to grow things and I couldn't understand what was eating my seedlings as they popped up and why they didn't grow or continue to grow, or why they got like how this one is over here and just all of a sudden go limp. I don't know if you can see it, that one right there, just all of a sudden go limp. It's because those grubs are eating the roots. They're eating the roots of the plants. And so I pulled hundreds. I took some photos of just one session of me pulling out, but I pulled hundreds just from this little area that you see that's dug up right here. Hundreds of grubs. I'd say close to maybe 300. It was a lot. And yeah, I gave them to my chickens, who just after a while got tired of them, looked at me like, what do you want me to do with these? You've already given me a whole bunch of them. What more you want me to do? So those are the two factors that I can see as to why my fall winter garden never really took off. So now that I know I can make changes for next season, I'll start growing my fall winter garden earlier, mid to late summer, July, August time frame, start planting and growing them then. And then also in my new garden, I'm going to put covers over my garden in certain areas, not everywhere, because I'm planning on planting flowers and things like that so that the pollinators could have those options. But for some of my other things that I'm growing, my greens and cabbages and stuff like that, I'm gonna cover those up so that those beds will be protected from any bugs flying in, beetles or moths or whatever, laying their larvae in the soil. If the adults can't get to the soil to lay their larvae, then there's not going to be a chance of those larvae coming up and eating my stuff. So we'll see how that works out. It's all experiments though, because I don't know for sure if that'll take care of the problem. I'm hoping that that's a natural way for me to keep the adults from laying their larvae in my beds. And the thing is I'm not always out here to see when they're doing it either. You know, it's kind of hard to, be able to document that stuff. So I figure if I have it covered over, they can lay in other beds that are open. So I'm not completely stopping the natural process. I'm just trying to keep them from eating some of my major crops this next season. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys real quick. So this is what my husband and my son was up to the past few days. I've been sick, as you can hear in my voice. And they finished taking down the posts from the patio cover here. So I'm very happy for that. I've been down for some days, literally in bed, because this cold just really kicked my butt this time. I don't usually get sick. I try not to get sick. So I'm like the last one in our household to ever get sick. You know, when mama's sick, then everything comes to a halt. So I don't like to be sick, but I had to throw in the towel and stay in bed and take medicine and try to get myself better. And then I ended up losing my voice. So I guess that's just a small price to pay. I have my energy back, so I'm back on the move, trying to get my garden put together for this springtime planting. So just stick with me. There's a lot of changes that are being made and have already been made. So keep an eye out for my new videos to come. If you like what you've been seeing, if you enjoy watching my videos, maybe you saw one and didn't think to click subscribe at the time, but now you've seen it again and again and different ones, and I invite you to please click subscribe. Continue to follow me on this journey of building my new remodeled garden. Also, in case you didn't know, I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. You can go and follow me there as well. I post up pictures, things that I don't include on my videos. I post up on those two mediums, so you can follow me there as well under Lakeisha Keene Saving Greens. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching my videos. Thank you for the comments. And as always, God bless.